me about this incident about your stint at the Sangeet Natak Academy. What happened there? Tell me. Tell me about that
Oh
part.
dear, dear, dear. Yeah, well, I was appointed Chairman Sangeet Natak Academy on 18th December 2003, and the UPA government came in April 2004, and then there was a witch hunt immediately, and mainstream, you remember the...
Hmm. Yeah, the
Mm. So
magazine.
Harkishan Singh Surjit was the
Huh.
editor, Secretary General of
Hmm.
CPM,
Hmm.
and with their support only they
Hmm.
formed the government,
Hmm.
UPA
Hmm.
won.
Hmm.
And so they put a list of names. That was about 8 or 9 names. My name was there. Professor Narang, President of Sahitya Academy.
Hmm.
Dr. L.M. Singhvi,
Hmm.
Abhishek Manu's father,
Father.
as President IGNCA. And they had to be immediately removed. And then there was a witch hunt after me. Then Jaipal Reddy and shadow boxing. And I said, why are you doing all this? But so I stuck on. Then our APJ Abdul Kalam, president, called me because he appoints, no? President appoints. He was very happy while he appointed me. And then he said, Sonalji, I'm very sorry, but you know what happens when the third time file comes back from Prime Minister? President has to sign it. So I said, sir, please go ahead and sign. He said, are you sure you don't want to resign? I said, why should I resign, sir? Because that will be a wrong precedent. I've not done anything wrong. You know that. He said, okay, I respect you. He gave me coffee, all that. And then that government notification, again, his principal secretary told me that he cut it out, removed, and he said replaced. I was replaced by Ram Nivas Mirtha.
But you were actually sacked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why? Because.
Because I was Sanghi, I was Saffron. I went for Vivekananda centenary to Washington to dance, along with Hari Prasad Chaurasia and Anup Jalota, and because they thought that I was NDA appointed me. That was the biggest
Ah.
no.
Okay, so all the NDA appointees
Yeah.
had to be taken off by the UPA.
Yeah.
So, when people talk about witch hunt, I want these stories don't come out. That there was a witch hunt then too.
But for the first time, there was such cruel interference in the field of culture. Never before.
Okay.
And Girish Karnad also protested, wrote about it. Others all kept quiet. But he said, even during his tenure as chairman, Sangeet Natak, the government had changed. But he said there was never a question. Kamala Devi ji, she came Janta government chairman, Sangeet Natak. And then immediately Indira Gandhi came.
Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay.
But nobody dared to do that.
Yeah. Okay. There was a period when people said, "Hum award वापस कर रहे हैं because we don't feel safe in this country anymore." At different points of time, there have been ठेकेदार्स of culture, as they say, putting it in quotes. So tell me about your experience. You've seen various prime ministers from Indira Gandhi's time or even before that, and to the current dispensation where the BJP is in power. Tell me, at any point of time, did you feel that you were accused of moving towards a certain culture which they thought was wrong?
Yeah.
क्या हुआ था? एक या दो incidents हमें बताएं.
Yeah, in 1993, the centenary of Vivekananda having gone to Chicago, World Parliament of Religions. Well, that was being celebrated in 1993, not in Chicago, but in Washington, D.C. And Vajpayee ji was then leader of opposition or something. And very good friends since 79, when in Morarji Desai's cabinet, he had been 78, he had been the foreign minister.
Okay.
So he came home to my rented apartment in Defence Colony then, and he said, I want you to go and there's ये लोग जा रहे हैं. And when I suggested your name, somebody said, but dance and so. I said, yeah, Atalji, then how, why? He said, no, 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 no. I think you have to go. It will be very good for everyone. I was very, very, happy. And then, of course, the letter of invitation came. I didn't even bother to see, or if I saw, it didn't register. It was from the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Like any other organization, at that time in 93, I had no inkling of all that. And the tickets came for my musicians, and they went for the visa. And 2 days they stood in the queue. And on the third day, I personally went. They were standing in the queue, and I went to the window and said, so they said, no. But why did you not tell us on the first day that they are not getting the visa? And within, I think, 1.5 days, we were to leave. I had my 5-year visa then. So give me the passports back. And I sent them all home. With all this, I went directly without telephoning. There were mobile phones or not at that time?
93,
I don't remember.
I think. No, Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. I don't think they had come in as yet or whatever.
I went straight to South Block, to J.B. Dikshit, Mani Dikshit, who was Foreign Secretary. From gate number 4, which is total out of bounds, everything. I went to him, and I was in tears, and I had severe cold out of tension and all that. He said, what happened? I told him. First he gave me, I have to say that. He took out cognac, called for hot water, gave me, drink it. And then I told him all that. He says, this is impossible. How can they deny? He says, ambassador se baat karao. Because that window fellow said, we have instruction from the higher-ups. And in front of me spoke, ambassador was apparently on home leave. So there was a charge there. And he said, but we have not given any instruction. And apparently that fellow said, but your government, and who in government? So it appeared to be Arjun Singh, who was HRD minister then. And Mani was red with rage. He said, how can you do that? We have not, And then he told me, look, I'll sort it out later. I'll have to deal with that. Do you have recorded music? At that time we had, that spool. You go. I went. Now, as this invitation thing came out that Hariprasad Chaurasia, Anup Jalota, Anuradha Podwal and Sonal Mansingh are going, Shatrughan Sen are going as MC. They didn't bother with the 3 musicians. I was considered, because among my friends, I had Madhu Lemay, Madhu Dandavate. Much before that, Murarji Kaka was like a family friend. And Hegde came much later. And all these CPM fellows, I knew everyone. At that time, it was so friendly. S.M. Banerjee used to be a big MP of CPI. CPM was not that prominent in 70s and 80s. Anyway, so I started getting funny phone calls. I got anonymous letters. And finally, and then of course Sabina Sehgal, S. Kalidas, Praful Bidwai, all these people were writing articles about me.
Saying?
Sanghi ban gayi, Saffron. What's happened to her? We thought she was sensible. I didn't understand. But then I was summoned to Mavlankar Hall, and then I danced for Sahmat at the very opening. College Road.
Hajmi,
And then gone with them on the rickety bus to Aligarh. 100 days curfew. And that same collector in Jiske Ghar ke Samne, that Maidan, that's where we performed. He met me recently somewhere, old man. He says, you won't remember, ma'am, but you had come and you had performed. I was the collector. And so I was summoned. You better come. Otherwise, we'll come home and pick you up physically. I said, I'll come. I took a black and yellow taxi. Mavalankara Hall, Kuldeep Nair is really the chairperson, alone sitting on a chair on the straight stairs. Oh, aage, she's come. And full hall. CPI, CPM, Sahmat, JNU. The professor, I forget his name, Bhavani, somebody. And Shabana Azmi, Kaifi Azmi, Swami Agnivesh, and all that. And Kuldeep said, we've been waiting for you. You know, come and we are all very agitated. Vagere. So I went and spoke in Hindi. कि मुझे निमंत्रण आया तो मैं जा रही हूँ ये लोग भी जा रहे हैं हम तो कलाकार हैं and I came down and people said no we want Kuldeep said तो मैंने कहा आप अंग्रेजी हिंदी नहीं समझते हो तो अंग्रेजी में आके बोल देती हूँ so again I countered them. Swami Agnivesh says had you accepted Hitler's invitation to go and dance? I said certainly yes. I would have gone and changed his heart. And people clapped. And then this, I think, सहमत में से कोई बोला, but we thought you are with us. हमने तो सोचा था आप तो हमारे साथ
With us.
मैं सबके साथ हूँ. जो कलाकार को बुलाता है मैं वहाँ जाती हूँ. And then I said, I've said enough. I've spoken enough. I don't want to. वैष्णव जन में आके पेश से सुन के मैं बाहर निकली हूँ. I'm an Indian. I'm an artist. That's all I can say. And I walked out. 100-150 लोग मेरे पीछे आ गए. And they were shouting and all that. How can we allow you to? I said, I went. And then, of course, I was shunned like anything. Well, who cares?
But when you meet with Shabana Azmi or Javed Akhtar after that, you must have met Kuldeep Nair after that.
Oh! From there, I went straight to Madhulemay, B11 Pandara Road. He was Secretary General of earlier, no? And Madhuji and I were great friends.
Yeah, I would think that he was a mild-mannered person, right?
He was a scholar.
Huh.
And so was his wife Champa, Sanskrit professor in Bombay University. And she used to say, Madhu, एक तुझी friend आली है. वो थी वहाँ पे मराठी में. And I went and said, Madhuji, he says, क्या हुआ? He had a foghorn voice. क्या हुआ? तुम बहुत वो लग रही हो. मैंने कहा मधु जी आप सुनो. And I told him. I says Kuldeep Nair and all. Kuldeep Nair phoned just then, that Gharghar phone, and said, he was complaining about me. Ke Madhu, I know she's your very good friend. She's done this and she said that and she's going there. मेरी कान में है मधु जी said, कुलदीप तुमको पागल कुत्ते ने काटा है क्या? I couldn't stop laughing. Later on, when I met Kuldeep somewhere, I said, Kuldeep, you remember what Madhuji told you when you complained about me? He said, no, did I? I said, no.
So ये intolerance towards these organizations पहले से था. It's not something which is new or anything like that. It's not Modi who's done it.
अरे बाबा मोदी जी तो अभी आए. We all feel very. It's not only funny, it's a joke. You agree with me, you are fine. You disagree with me, you are a no-no. But who the hell are you? Why should you think you are God?
You're a victim of cancel culture, जो आज ये term बना है. You're a victim of cancel culture from the 70s onwards.
But darling, I cancel them all.
You cancel. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, you deal with it that way.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing story. Do subscribe to the ANI Clips channel to get shorter versions of this podcast. Click here to watch the full episode.